mechanics, there's a couple of cues that I like to rely on. First of all, landing softly and landing at the same time, and then finally landing kind of like in a hinge. And usually I'll say something like absorb it, or push those hips back, or something along those lines. So the things that I'm looking for when I look at landing mechanics are making sure they don't land with their knees in valgus like this. It puts a lot of stress on the medial ligaments of the knee. I like to look at making sure that they're not landing just knees barely bent, backs completely straight, very stiff. That's very jarring. It usually comes from them trying to land with their entire foot instead of in the forefoot and allowing their joints to absorb from the floor up. And I'm also looking to make sure that they're not landing more on one foot than the other. Sometimes that happens post-injury when they're favoring one leg over the other. So we got to build the confidence to land on both feet nice and even. Obviously, that's with two-leg landing, not if we're trying to do single-leg jumps. But in general, when you're trying to drop down and land, you want to make sure that you're engaging your glutes in a fashion that lets your knees stay your external rotation at the hips and prevent your knees from caving in. I like to land on my toes so that my joints can absorb the impact slowly, and I like to keep them to land quietly so that they're imagining absorbing all that force really quietly into their toes rather than landing super flat. So an example would be to just drop down and go, whoop, tripped on my shoes there. But both my knees landed, they're pointing straight forward. I land kind of the same way I would start a jump. If I were to jump from here, I'd just swing my arms and I'd get full triple extension at my ankles, knees, and hips. So you kind of want to imagine landing the same way you're about to take off from a jump. So dropping down, landing as quietly as you can and steady. You don't want to be like all wobbly and everything. So if you land and you're more on one foot than the other, you need to build up those glutes so that both legs are nice and strong, glutes and quads, and prepared to accept the weight evenly. Also want to make sure that one foot's not more in front of the other, because you'll naturally put more weight into that back foot and you'll be off balance. So you won't be ready to go. You can refer to this position as the ready position. Just like in most sports, volleyball, basketball, even baseball, you're going to start from this position. If you're ready to go for a grounder, ready to pass, ready to move in basketball court, you want to be strong in this position. So you want to be able to land in that position and be ready to go whichever way you need to go. So total recap, land softly, land ready to go, and land with your knees facing forward, not collapsing into each other. So those are the landing mechanics as I would coach them.